Wagwan, it's your humble host, Big Truck. Hey, I'm coming from a place somewhere in the universe. I'm out of town right now. I'll be back to the parts unknown late tonight. But I got some free time. I want to tap in. My brother, Truth Unedited. We do a lot of studying together, a lot of Bible study, Torah study on this holy Shabbat day. We're going to really dive into some things today. He has some things to say. I have some things to say. And then the spirit of the universe is going to take us home. So grab your shoulder pads and your helmet, and let's get this work. Last time that I checked.
Are you ready for a new world order?
Since Charlie Kirk's death, with the name of his organization being rightly called Turning Point, I have felt this in my spirit that we are at a turning point. We are moving towards a point of no return, and many people are being solidified in their place on where they will fall in this whole agenda. I truly feel that change is on the way, and it is what everyone is doing right now that matters the most. Your job or career, it does not matter. Your education, your financial goals, your relationship goals, none of those things matter. The only thing that matters is how much you were attaching yourself to our Father and His will. And because the devil knows this is why so many of these other things that are distracting us exist. It's to keep us distracted and focused on everything else until the rug is pulled out from beneath us. But if you are focused and you see what time it is in this world, you will be ready for what's coming. As I recently made these videos exposing the agenda about the rapture, I went through a lot of provoking hours listening to pastors preaching foolishness.
Rapture drill.
I haven't been in the churches in many years, and I stopped listening to these sermons. So when I started actually listening today with fresh eyes and ears with discernment, these men, to me, they were obvious wolves. It was clear that they are directing their flock towards the beast. Understanding the agenda is clear where they're leading people. They were literally twisting the scriptures and leaving out a great deal of other scriptures just so they could promote a narrative that they wanted people to be attached to.
We call that the agenda. There's so many things that individuals want to attach themselves to. And this is why we always say, know who you are and whose you are in the season of your life. There's too many individuals, too many people out there following things that they don't have no business following and attaching themselves to things they should not be attaching themselves to. And this is why I say, wake up, people. It's time to wake up. If you don't already get it, you're going to be lost. You're going to be lost in the sauce. Okay? The different narratives, the different agendas. In this life, it's about chess, not checkers. Some of y'all playing a game that y'all never played before. Some are winning, some are losing. Those that are losing, we see that. Those that are winning, we see that. If you notice, those that recognize game, they move differently. They move in silence. Then an individual that does not know, that is clueless. And I'll say this time and time again. The black race is the most dominant race on the planet. You got to know that. So it's imperative to be mindful and know how to treat each other instead of disrespect each other. Because if you trace it back to biblical times, if you trace it back to when Yeshua was talking with the people and he said, Israel, whom I loved, he was talking about us. And those that don't know, well, don't know who he's talking about. But he also turned around in the same sentence and said, get to know me. Because if you know me, then you will know my Father. If you have a relationship with me, then you will have a relationship with my Father, he who sent me. Yeshua never labeled himself. It's not about religion, it's about relationship. And it's time to highlight that. It's time to know it.
I recently just made a video about how we can all test them. And so if we just put this into practice and started caring about our soul and our Father's kingdom more than we were about protecting man, it would be easier to protect yourself from these agendas. There are just so many other things happening right now, though. With Trump and this fake peace that they're working towards, while at the same time escalating war with Russia and Ukraine, and the trade war with China, while we have men like Mitchell having these Christian events that the Hebrew Israelites chose in order to draw attention to themselves. I mean, they're coming out marching like that has anything to do with our Father and his kingdom. None of that has anything to do with truth. It's just about attention. I mean, when you look at the world, it's just falsehoods and agendas, and the overwhelming majority are falling for it. As I've been covering falsehoods and explaining these things, there have been many people that are being awakened to the lies, and there are many questions people are asking. And the biggest question most people are asking is, where would one start? And that's a good question. I mean, we are all in different phases of our faith and understanding. And when making these videos, I could jump to this agenda or that agenda and point things out. But if you don't truly understand what it is that you're seeing and why it's happening, you may be confused. Also, with many of you raising your children, some of them are getting older and they see changes that you're making with your family and they don't truly understand why. When someone asked me where would they start with these videos, I thought it was a big question, and I realized that this ministry was not properly set up to direct that answer. I don't know the full events that's going to happen in the near future, like what the timeline is of their full narrative. I don't know how much time we have before they move to the next leg of this agenda.
When we address New World Order, I can recall back in the 90s, I was part of the Black Student Union at one of the colleges at Long Beach City. And we talked about these things. We talked about how the entertainment industry was going to make a complete shift. We talked about how the rap game changed from conscious rap to the rap that we hear now. There's no message behind it. It's just an agenda. You got an individual that have no damn skills, no rap skills whatsoever, going platinum, going gold, selling copies. Same thing with the R&B. Back in the 90s, you can tell the artists that sang R&B, they put a lot into their craft. You listen to the R&B now? Okay, let's talk about the sports industry. Back then, they took their sports seriously. You look at the way the sports industry is now, totally different. Okay. Let's talk about relationships. You look at how relationships were back in the 90s, but you look at how relationships are now. I bet. You look at how marriage was taken seriously back in the 90s. And you look at the way marriage is taken now. I bet. Look at how individuals would treat each other back in the 90s versus how people treat each other now. You don't see nothing wrong with that? You ain't picking up on what's going on? When we talk about shift, especially when it started bringing in things, just like when it brought in the crack movement, when it brought in the gangs, when it started bringing in different things, just to test and see how many individuals going to adapt to it. With this whole division between black men and black women, we're going to throw certain things in the air and just to see how many people adapt to it. Oh, the scandemic was the finale of them all. Had people wearing masks. They didn't have nothing to do with nothing. Berry punches was given. They had nothing to do with nothing. But they threw it out there just to see how people gonna react before they hit you with the big one. That would make you say,
damn, damn, damn.
But I do know that there are people waking up and they are confused. Let me say this very clearly, that you will not gain full understanding until you really start reading the Bible for yourself. That is the beginning of any true awakening. Read it from the beginning, starting in Genesis. But I believe that as a supplement to that, I can help make sense of it all. And so I want to start a new series to help people understand what is truly wrong in this world. But not only what's wrong, but also what the truth is as well. So it's going to consist of a lot of what is wrong and also a lot of what is right. I want to help bring clarity where there is a great deal of confusion. My hope is that this can be a tool for those of you trying to grow more in your understanding, those of you that are trying to help their family and your friends, and just many that our Father is calling right now, and you don't know what to do or where to start. In these last days, if there's a playlist that can walk someone through it all, I think it will be extremely important. So this is what I'm going to do. I want this to be a resource for all who are trying to wake up and understand what it is that's happening in this world. So we are now going to start a series that I pray helps wake people up and strengthens anyone trying to prepare themselves for the coming kingdom of Yahuwah. So we are going to discuss what is wrong with this world. Let's begin. Okay, so let's get started. When I was starting this series, I was truly wondering where I would start in this discussion. And there are two important parts, and so that's where I'm going to begin. I think to really start this discussion from the ground floor, we need to start with what it is that you're seeing in this world right now, the main agenda.
Very important question. Ladies, gentlemen, in the comment section, what is it that you are seeing in this world right now? What is it that you are seeing that makes you feel diseased? That you feel, that you know in the pit of your spirit, you know something ain't right. Something is about to pop off, but you don't know when, where. But you just know something doesn't feel right. Please put that in the comment. Let me know, in your own words, what is it that you feel that something isn't right about what's going on? Look at the deaths that we've been having this year alone. Highlight that.
I want you to understand the times that you're in and what's happening. The world is moving fast towards change, moving towards a reset that will change the world forever. We are in a period of time that is calling for massive change. But it seems that unless you are awake, you are not able to see it coming. It is absolutely alarming to me the amount of people that I see that are just asleep and unaware, going about their normal lives, oblivious to what is coming to the world that will affect them in ways that have not been imagined. And right now, it seems very much like the agendas have shifted. Change is upon this world, but unfortunately, it seems that the masses will not be ready for it until it affects them directly. And then at that time, they won't have enough time to react in a way that will limit their exposure to it. Right now in the United States here, we're in a government shutdown. And I've asked people, what do they think about it? And And most people say they're not really giving it much thought. The reason they're not giving it much thought is because it's not affecting them. But the current government of the country that you live in is currently not operating. These things should matter to you, but to most people, it does not matter to them because it doesn't directly affect them right now. They only care about what affects them directly at that point.
And that's why I always tell people, stay ready so that you don't have to get ready. You have a large number of individuals walking around the universe with blinders on. And you will know who they are. See, like I tell or share, I'm a conspiracy theorist. If I don't know something, I'm going to research it. I'm going to look into things instead of looking at things. And once I've identified something, I'm going to take it a step further. I'm going to dive a deeper look into it. Because I'm one of those individuals, I want to get down to the root of it all. You know, it's like a form of psychology. I love people watching. I love sitting back, watching how people move, how people operate. You learn so much about a person when you just sit back and watch them and listen to them.
And because of that, when all the agendas come together, they're not going to be ready for it because they're going to be reactive. And to be ready for what is happening in this world, you must be proactive. Because people are not preparing themselves, they will be forced to transition in any way that the agenda was planned for them, depending on where they are in this world. The world is moving towards a new world order, a complete shift in the way that the world was once led. A topic that was once a phrase that was toxic to people. I mean, when you used to bring it up, people often got mad with you, called you a conspiracy theorist, they called you crazy or wrote you off, etc., etc. People did not want to hear about this topic. But now, because it's said in a slightly different way, people are actually embracing it and asking for it. I want you to take a look at all the headlines recently about a new world order. From The Guardian, more than a narcissist rant, Trump's UN address marked a disturbing turn towards a new world order. Politico, a month ago, China shapes a new world order. CNN, Xi unveils vision of new world order alongside Putin and Kim. This was actually a video. It's all right before us, right in our faces.
And a large number of individuals are so clueless. It's like you paying homage and you looking at the wrong things, what's going on the right. But no, you're looking in the wrong places. You're looking at the wrong things. You should really be paying attention to what's going on the left. You really need to ask questions of what's going on behind the scenes in back of you. There's nothing wrong to what's looking in front of you, but pay attention to what's going on in the back of you, what you can't see, what you don't know, what's being orchestrated. Because the same individuals that you looking at are looking directly right back at you.
The events that are transpiring right now are all leading towards a great reset that will bring in a new world order. And if you do not understand what this agenda is all about, you will never understand the point of the awakening. You must understand that world leaders, the business leaders, your religious leaders, social leaders, they have all spoken about working towards this goal of a new world order. So what is a new world order? The first thing you must understand is that in regards to this new world order, there is a secular agenda and then there is a religious agenda. We will first cover the secular first that will lead to the religious agenda. So let me first say what the secular agenda is not. It's not about moving another country into the driver's seat of the world. Like for instance, it's not about moving one country out of leadership so another country can be the leader.
What y'all know about the all-seeing owl? Why is the owl so important? If you think about it, the mechanics of an owl can see day, night, and turn his head. Okay? The all-seeing owl ain't no joke. But for those that don't know, won't catch it. If you watch certain movies, everything is being laid out right in front of you. But they think a large number of you are dumbfounded that y'all won't catch it. Y'all won't see it. Y'all won't pay attention. See, when I watch movies, I look at what's going on in the back. I look at everything when I watch movies. I pay attention to the symbols. I pay attention to the signs. I pay attention to things. Case in point, the movie Sinners. Man, so many symbolic things in that movie Sinners. The new movie with Marlon Wayans. You know, him. That tell you right there, say less. That's a shutdown right there. You see things. Okay? There is an agenda. And you have to pay attention, because if you don't and you're not educated on things, you're going to be lost. Oh man, you got to catch your bag. You got to get that bag. Damn your bag. Get your purpose. Get your peace.
Like, it's not about Russia or China looking to be the new leader of the world order. It's not about BRICS running the world. Nothing like that. Even though this is clearly how some news frames it. That is not what the agenda is about. So understanding the secular agenda, we need to understand what the current world order is. I mean, you can't have a new world order without having something to replace. So what is the current world order? In the secular, the current world order is run by the United States. This is confirmed by an article made a few years back by the Wall Street Journal. The headline, it reads, Putin address takes swipe at US-led world order. So right now, it's very clear that the United States is the world power in control of this current world order. They have been the ones that have set the terms for all the countries in the world. They have established the most military bases in the world. Their currency, the United States dollar, is known as King Dollar. It has been the currency of choice for most people in the world for over 50 years. If you go internationally, they often would prefer the United States dollar compared to their own currency. Definitely with the exclusion being Europe. Anyway, the United States leadership is the current world order. So it is obvious that in this coming new world order, the United States will no longer be in that leadership role. Again, it wouldn't be new if it was still the same.
We knew that despite all the diplomacy and the handshaking and the rhetoric, that to build a really better world sometimes means having to tear the old one down.
The new world order that will be established will come.
He's telling you, in order for something new to be established, something old has to be torn down and done with. I'm going to let that marinate.
After the Great Reset of all things. Former executive chairman of the World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab, he wrote a book. It was called COVID-19, The Great Reset. And in this book, he went over all the factors of society that will be reset. There is an economic reset, a societal reset, a geopolitical reset, an environmental reset, and a technological reset.
What took place with the C-19 was, let's see how many people we can control. let's see who's going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe. We're going to see how many people are going to panic. We're going to see what the body does to this. Get it done once, get it done twice, get it done 3 times. Let's see how the body reacts to multiple times this procedure done. Okay, people not moving fast enough. I don't see you moving. If you don't do this, you're gonna lose your job. Maybe that'll get the wheels going. Again, they seeing how people react. And they taking notes. And a large number of individuals are falling for the stuff. Because I'm sitting back and I'm watching. I'm so thankful and grateful that my dad taught my brothers and sisters this stuff. My dad taught us, oh yeah, when y'all become adults, y'all not gonna move like everybody else. Y'all gonna move differently. Because when you move differently, it's something about not getting labeled as everybody else. People used to say, oh, Big Truck, you different. You different, you different. And that used to bother me. I thought it was always a bad thing. But then the more I grew in Yah, the more I grew in the word, the more I began to study, the more I began to tap into self and hang out with my friends that are monks. And they taught me the chi. My dad taught the chi, but how to breathe, how to meditate, how to tap into your inner self. Literally, I know how to tap into the parts unknown. That's why I see through people so well. That's why I feel spirits so well. Anybody can have good or bad energy. What's your spirit like? What's your soul like? See, I go deeper than the deep blue sea. Don't try me. Don't test me now. Don't rump with me. Because you're talking to a person that studies. I don't label myself. Many individuals, oh, I'm a Christian, I'm this and I'm that. Hey, that's fine. That's you. Much respect. But I don't label myself. I have a spiritual relationship with the Most High, my Abba Father, Elohim. You see? Because his only begotten son, Yeshua HaMashiach, the Messiah, he will always reference my Father. He never labeled himself. Why should you?
Please understand that they do not hide nor shield their intentions. They just put it in books that the mind-controlled, distracted public, they do not read. To show you what I mean, let me take an excerpt from the book in page 72.
You want to hide something from a black man, put it in a book. You want to hide something from a black woman, give her $1. I know about those. I know about those sayings. We're not going to act like we don't know. We're going to act like we know.
In regards to the fate of the United States dollar. He writes, for decades, the United States has enjoyed the exorbitant privilege of retaining the global currency reserve, a status that has long been a perk of imperial might and economic elixir. To a considerable extent, American power and prosperity have been built and reinforced by the global trust in the dollar and the willingness of customers abroad to hold it, most often in the form of United States government bonds. For quite some time, some analysts and policymakers have been considering a possible and progressive end to the dominance of the dollar. This argument suggests that something major will therefore have to change, either through a much reduced geopolitical role or higher taxation, or both. After all, the status of reserve currency cannot last longer than foreign confidence in the ability of the holder to honor its payments. The United States must maintain an economy that inspires global credibility and confidence. Failure to do so will, over time, put the US dollar's position in peril. I show you this for you to understand that this is not hidden. They all understand this. This is not something that is beyond world leaders.
Are you ready for a new world order?
Donald Trump is actually the final leg of this whole agenda that Klaus Schwab wrote about. We are at the point now where he wrote, "This argument suggests that something major will therefore have to change, either through a much reduced geopolitical role or higher taxation, or both. Otherwise, the rising deficit will reach a threshold beyond which non-US investors are unwilling to fund it."
You look at the government shutdown. You look at tariffs. You look at high tax. You look at the things that are going on. You look at the things that are happening. You look at how certain things are being positioned. Oh yeah, you may need to rethink. You modern women may need to rethink. You know what? It may not be bad going 50-50 after all with your mate. Trust me. And you know what? It may not be such a bad idea to submit to my man. Hold on now. See, reality will make you look at things that you didn't look at. Will make you feel things that you've never felt. Will make you see things that you've never seen.
After all, the status of reserve currency cannot last longer than foreign confidence in the ability of the holder to honor its payments. As for a global virtual currency, there is none in sight yet, but there are attempts to launch national digital currencies that may eventually dethrone the US dollar supremacy. And that was back during the COVID-19 era. At this point, all the countries around the world are making their own national digital currencies. But this is what Donald Trump had to do in order to justify the rejection of the United States dollar, which is exactly what this trade war with China will bring about, which is why it's being had. This is about the challenge to the United States dollar reserve currency. This is one of the main reasons why the United States is in control of the world at this point. So anyways, the point is that the world order will be changing and reset. In regards to the economic reset, they do not wish the world to work under multiple currencies dependent and controlled by each nation. The world wants a world currency that prices everything in the world at the same value, regardless of where you are. There will be a one world currency. In regards to a societal reset, they want to move the world to a complete socialistic style of government, where there is only the rich and the poor. And to stop injustices and inequalities, our lives will be completely censored. In regards to geopolitical reset, this nationalism that places one country's needs above the rest of the world will not be tolerated any longer. It will be the world's best interest over one particular nation. In order to facilitate this, they will be moving to a one world government.
I'm trying to tell you. So basically, it's like saying United States is going to be in control of all the other countries, if that makes sense. No matter where you go, what you do, the currency is going to be that. This is what they're working towards. Everything that was said back in the 90s, now we're seeing it play out. I even had some individuals say, man, what was being said back in the 90s was warning the people, but the people didn't listen. They didn't want to listen. They chose not to listen. And now look. Okay.
The world will be run from a United Nations government, which is why we have seen the promotion of being global citizens. They do it every year. In regards to an environmental reset, the world will be run less about profits and earnings. The rich will stay rich. It will be less about profits and more about climate change. Everything will be tied to environmental sustainability. And in regards to a technological reset, the world will be moved into the metaverse where most of this world will transact and live out our lives daily. Everything will become digital. Your IDs, your money, your health records, everything will be digital. You have to understand, this is why when Donald Trump came back into office, he said his priorities is to make the United States an artificial intelligence and crypto capital of the world, just showing that this is where the world is moving to. This is how things will be reset and will form what we will see as a new world order. But again, that is the secular view. This is what the world will be moving directly towards after world conflict, nuclear war, and economic collapse. Basically, after all the first four seals are all removed. But again, that's the secular.
If you read Revelations, it tells you in Revelations the things to come, what's going to be, how it's going to go, and there ain't nothing you can do to stop it. You cannot stop nor alter prophecy. So when I be on social media, I be on TikTok, I be on Instagram, I be checking out how folk be talking and how folk be moving. I be like, yeah, y'all doing all that talking, all that big tub talk. But there's something far much greater than y'all that would make y'all sound stupid. Keeping on. If you want to, go mess around and find out.
That is not the main agenda of the New World Order. Those are just the major spokes on the wheel that will create the conditions for the true goal behind the New World Order. Remember, there is a secular agenda, but the most important agenda of the New World Order, it's religious. The real agenda behind a New World Order is much more darker than a shift in business, economics, or government. Even though none of what I mentioned earlier is minor, it's just not the main agenda. What a New World Order is, it's transitioning the world from being under the Judeo-Christian world order to a satanic Luciferian world order. Now listen, if you do understand the truth about who the people in Israel really are and that Christianity is really a religion of tares, you may ask, what is the difference? The difference is that right now people still feel like they're worshiping our Father Yahuwah.
Let me highlight what he said. Who are the people of Israel? Israel. Us, Hebrew. Let's get it.
The God of the Bible. Even though they are very far from it, they still feel this way. The ultimate goal of this transition is moving the world from under the rule of the Most High, Yahuwah, to knowingly making Satan being worshipped as God. One of the biggest conspiracies you have in the Bible is found in Isaiah chapter 14, verses 13 and 14. In reference to Lucifer, it says, "For you have said in your heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of Elohim. I will also sit on the mount of the congregation on the farthest sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High." Isaiah chapter 14, verses 13 through 14. Lucifer wants to be like the Most High, and this world agenda is about creating the conditions for him to be able to do so. That's the simple way of explaining it. He wants to place himself in priority over our Father in heaven. He wants to be who we refer to as the Most High. And though he knows he will not win, he is working in men through deception to achieve this goal. When we say what is wrong with the world, this is the main point of this conflict and what's wrong. This world is basically a playground for Satan to move the hearts of men away from the Most High and prove that the world likes his way more.
And also move away from each other. We call that division. Separate, divide, Kodashim, set apart. You see? It's almost like saying, hey, there's a tornado coming. Evacuate. Instead of you evacuating, getting away from the tornado, you walk smack right into the tornado and get mad when the tornado does what it does.
And there is a complete agenda that Satan is walking us through in order to achieve this goal. He doesn't have the same power that Yahweh, our true creator, has, so he had to move in darkness and deception in order to gather enough power to imitate the power of Yah. You see, he's not omniscient, which is having complete or unlimited knowledge, awareness, or understanding, perceiving all things. He's not omnipotent, which is having unlimited power, being able to do anything. And he's not omnipresent, meaning being present in all places at all times. So he is creating a world that he can imitate those qualities in his own false way. And understanding that will allow you to understand much of the structures that you're seeing built in this world, like why they're trying to track and monitor us all, to know what we're even thinking, and to be able to see everything happening everywhere, holding all the power of how the world works. It's very deep. But the main conflict is that Lucifer wants to be like the Most High. And we are in the middle of this conflict because our Father has not forced us to comply to him and worship him. And he has all giving us the power of choice. And so when we are discussing what is wrong with this world, this is the main premise of it all. We are going to talk about all of this and start from the beginning. But if you're going to be able to understand what it is that you're seeing, you must understand that the ultimate conflict is that the devil is challenging the Most High Yahweh and desiring to steer the world into worship of himself.
Not only that, but he's testing you. Think about it. It's like poking a bear. Devil's been poking at you all month long, all year long, all week long, all day long. The enemy has been poking at you, trying to knock you off your rocker so that you lose focus, try to sidetrack you, throw certain things in your path to get a reaction. That's normally how Satan works. He does certain things to get a reaction. And when you react, he knows, okay, next time I'm going to use that. I'm going to come similar to that.
And so at the backdrop of everything that you're seeing, you have to ask yourself this one question. Is this leading me to Yahweh or is it leading me to Satan? And obviously, depending on your level of awareness right now, you might not be able to clearly discern this. But as we grow in breaking down these subjects, and as you review the world, you will be better able to discern what it is that you're seeing and if certain people are truly leading you to our Father or leading you away from him. One of the main drivers of this goal for a New World Order is Freemasonry. To many people, this is just known as a secret society, but it is in fact a religion. It's probably the most powerful religion in this world in regards to influence, not true power. What you need to understand is that the goal of the religion of Freemasonry is to spread the light of Freemasonry to the world. You'll see many times they say, "Let there be light."
Let there be light. I am the light. I am the way. We all have to pay attention to this because everything ties in to the agenda.
So what is the light of Freemasonry? Well, you see, Lucifer is their god, and they are spreading his light to the world. The light of Freemasonry is the light of Lucifer. Freemasons have a goal of the ultimate defeat and extinction of evil. And you see, that goes back to Lucifer's whole goal of being like the Most High and ascending to his heights, because they believe that the true God of the Bible, Yahweh, our Father, our Creator, they believe he is evil, and there is a mission to remove his influence from this world. They have been tasked with turning darkness into light, turning evil to good.
Exactly.
You see, the Bible has prepared us for this and told us that this is exactly what Satan will do.
Exactly.
The Apostle Paul warned us in 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verses 14 and 15, And no wonder, for Satan himself transforms himself into an angel of light. Therefore, it is no great thing if his ministers also transform themselves into ministers of righteousness, whose end will be according to their works. Again, that's 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verses 14 and 15. But because people don't actually read and study their Bibles, they don't truly recognize this.
Nobody worships. No one sits and meditates. No one asks questions.
You know, there's a song by John Legend who speaks of what will come when this New World Order comes. Back in the day, I used to hear it being played in certain stores, but I don't really hear it played that often. But in that song, he speaks on what he has done, and it just surprises me just how many people ignore what it is that he's actually saying. He's talking about being killed when it's over, so he doesn't want to think about that. That he did all that he could to turn darkness to light. He turned evil to good. But this song is played as a love song. It's something great when he is literally talking about what will happen to him when this agenda comes. I mean, it's literally the craziest thing if you just read those lyrics. I mean, I truly ask myself, what are other people hearing? He's just a small example of what these people have been doing for years, turning darkness to light and evil to good. Like Rihanna, in the real turning point of her career, she made her song Disturbia. And she said, it's like the darkness is the light.
Disturbia, it's like the darkness is the light.
Light, evil to good. And they're turning darkness to light, evil to good, in order to bring about this coming New World Order. It did not just happen in the business.
I had to do it for fair use, had to do it for YouTube purposes. But the point that he's making is, if you listen to song word for word, they're telling you. If you play Aaliyah's song Rock the Boat backwards, you will definitely hear it in that song. Let's continue.
This world, it happened through everything. It happened in your social life. That's why everything is so evil. That's why our children today have no real morals or no real foundation.
Right now, obviously, all you fuckers going to hell right with me. So, let's get it. Oh.
Also, when you listen on social media, the blame shifting, all the bad things that are said against men, that women are saying, that a large number of women are saying. You see how it pays attention? You pay attention? It hits home now. Everything that you hear a large number of women say bad about men. You see how that gets highlighted, that gets praised, that gets glorified, that gets the hip hop hooray. But anything positive that you put out there, anything positive that you say about man, crickets.
You already here. I'm so sorry. You can't get out. You're stuck. It's over. You heard the song a million times and you didn't even know.
That's why everything is tainted and so dark. It's because we're completely in a world that is moving towards worship of Satan. Just people that can't see it. They just think it's cultural change and they just think it's how a normal progression of change. But it's actually, they are moving the world to direct worship of Satan, and they're teaching people to turn darkness to light and light to darkness.
It's almost like if you're spreading evilness and wickedness, you get props and you get credit. You get rewarded. But if you spitting positivity, good, you get shamed.
To make good evil and make evil good. This is the main culture that's being spread in this current world today. Isaiah chapter 5 verse 20 says, "Woe to those who call evil good and good evil, who put darkness for light and light for darkness, who put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter." Isaiah chapter 5 verse 20. it's prophesied woe to them. And so you can understand that in the times to come, these people that are doing this and the people that accept this, they have major problems on their hand. What I am showing you is that there are men and women pushing darkness to the world, but calling it light. They believe that they are agents of light, though they are truly agents of darkness. They have pledged their life in devotion to Satan. And the actual true goal of this world is to be moved into a new world order where Satan is worshipped as God, moving this world into a one world religion. When people are
But he also said in his word, there's going to come a time where people are going to reject the truth, believe the lie. You reject the truth, you believe the lie, you reject me. My Father will deal with you. We're seeing this in real time. Look at TikTok. Look at Instagram. Look at how many people reject truth. But when it comes to the lie, when it comes to doing something bad and evil and wicked, that gets the praise. You know I ain't lying. Let's go.
Are focused on their future, this is the future that you're preparing for. And this is what a new world order truly is about. I mean, yeah, you can look at it like how the news might try to shape it and look at it as a secular conspiracy about people trying to gain more power or nations trying to gain more power, but it is far deeper than that. One thing you're gonna have to understand when evaluating this world is that just like there are true believers in Yahuwah, our Father in heaven, who truly desire his kingdom, you must understand there are true believers and followers of Satan who believe in bringing about Satan's kingdom on earth. They are all amongst you in this world. You've probably shaken their hands, gone to their houses, supported their doctrines, voted.
You even, and some of you women had children by these individuals. Some of these individuals even gotten certain women pregnant that you were not supposed to be with. Sitting here mixing wine with individuals that you're not supposed to be mixing wine with. Talking to certain individuals that you're not supposed to be talking to. Dancing with certain people that you're not supposed to be dancing with. And wonder why you brought the devil home with you.
Voted for them, they are all amongst you. They talk about serving God, but is not the God of the Bible. This is all Bible prophecy, and you must understand why it's happening. The real truth in this world is that there are families with satanic bloodlines that Satan gave power to, the same power he tried to tempt Yahusha with in the wilderness. Satan gave them this power in order to implement this agenda. They have and yield enormous, unimaginable power. These are the people behind the scenes, while they put people like the United States presidents or Putin or Xi in our faces to play as the ones with the power. They're not the ones with the power. These families worship Satan as God, and they are committed to bringing about the devil's dominion.
They're pawns. They're puppets. They're being told what to do. They're being told what to say. They're being told how to move. You knew what you signed up for. You see, you made an oath. You made a promise. You gave your word. You sacrificed things. That's how we got you here. You see? Now look. That's why the things that I see on social media, that stuff don't move me. Because I know what I know. Because I study. I live my best life. I walk around with my eyes open, always keeping my head on a swivel. And if I need advice, if I need to go back to the drawing board, I go to my playbook, I go to my Torah, and I read. I'll go in prayer. I'll go in meditation. You see? When you learn how to operate and you learn how to move, you don't get caught up in the things of the world. But you make sure you keep your mind sharp. You make sure you keep your peace. You make sure you keep your affairs in order.
There's a quote I often use from David Rockefeller's book, Memoir, in which he writes on page 405, "For more than a century, ideological extremists at either end of the political spectrum have seized upon well-publicized incidents, such as my encounter with Castro, to attack the Rockefeller family for the inordinate influence they claim we yield over American political and economic institutions. Some even believe we are part of a secret cabal working against the best interests of the United States, characterizing my family and me as internationalists and of conspiring with others around the world to build a more integrated global political and economic structure. One world, if you will. If that's the charge, I stand guilty and I am proud of it." You know, what's funny, today this man is pretty much forgotten in our society. Actually, the family is just out of the limelight and most people don't even recognize that they even existed. But this family is a major reason and source of why the current way of life in America is the way it is. They built it. But let's get away from that from right now. I mean, just getting away from the fact that he admits that there is an agenda that he's working towards, I want you to ask yourself, why would this powerful man be proud of this and not shy away from it? You see, this goal that the simple-minded people of today call an unfounded conspiracy, this powerful man of a powerful family that has extreme amount of wealth writes in his memoir that he is proud of it. Why do you think that?
There are so many things in Vegas that are so satanic that stick out like a sore thumb, especially the Luxor, the Pyramid, the MGM. I mean, that ain't nothing. But you have to pay attention to these things. Make sure you are aware so that you don't get caught up in the wash. You don't get caught up in the things of this world. You were born in this world, but you are not of this world. These things don't make you. You have your own mind. You see? And it's always good to have these type of conversations. I love having these type of conversations because you see where the mindset of an individual's at. Their level of thinking. But also it's educational purpose. It's about learning. It's about having an understanding, overstanding in the things of this world. Everyone has different political views. But when you have these types of conversation, it opens up the doors for everything else. It goes to show, like, wow, you can have a decent conversation with an individual and they have something good to talk about versus having a conversation with someone and it's like, dang, really? Can't even have a conversation with you. Some people you can have a good conversation with, and some people you cannot have a good conversation with. My man has a little bit more, and then we gone. And I'm going to give my final thoughts. Then we gone.
That is. It's because it's his religious goals that he's working towards, and he is proud that he has been a part of bringing the satanic kingdom on earth. Because we as a society are not fully able to understand how people could truly worship Satan, we don't understand this enemy. These people, they look at believers of Yahuwah as the enemy. The true people of Israel truly are their enemy. But the main problem that you'll see is that many self-proclaimed Christians of today, the ones that they actually say that they're worshiping the God of the Bible, they actually ignore that Satanists even exist.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeshua's people get persecuted, treated like trash, disrespected. His anointed ones. Let me highlight that. His anointed ones. See, we're all Elohim's children. Who did he choose? Who was his favorite? That's easy. Hebrew Jews. He chose us to be his own. Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense when you read the Torah. The Bible talks about us. Also parts of Africa. But yet, somehow, some way, you're told, no, that's not it. This is it. You need to follow this. Why should I follow that? I don't know. We just got to. No, it doesn't sit well with me. But when I follow that over here, I get more of a comfort. I get peace. It feels good. So that over here must be right versus that over there.
And the reason why they ignore it is because in their churches, they're trained to ignore it because the churches are also a part of this agenda. They are distracting people while allowing them to continue to be led to this New World Order. Listen, besides the obvious rocker or gothic type, we don't think of a successful businessman, a star or singer or actress, or even a politician. We don't think that they can actually be a worshiper and follower of Satan. We don't think of it, which leaves us vulnerable to their plots that they devise in secret. There are followers of Satan in every facet of our society. Most of the people that the public idolizes today have sold out to Satan in order to obtain their success. If you go back and look at any of the people that influence you, influence your children, the shows that you watch, any of the major things that you take in that's mainstream, you can more than often find a tie to Satan. There are many Satanists standing right on the altars in churches teaching the flocks a new form of righteousness that leads to Satan.
And this is why, one of the reasons why I have such an issue with some of these pastors standing behind a pulpit lying to the people. You have individuals out there that are hurting. You have individuals out there that need help. But yet, they being lied to. It's a money grab. They don't care about your soul. They don't care about what you're going through. It's a money grab.
Teachers in these churches teaching an agenda of end times Bible prophecy that leads to a satanic fulfillment of prophecy. This is what the New World Order is, and it is not a conspiracy theory, but a reality that is fast approaching. It's just that most people's eyes are not open up to it.
Well, let me know what you think. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. I'm always having the privilege to bring truth to light, bring truth to a dark place. Because there's a lot of individuals out there that are lost, that don't know. But deep down inside, it's like they're feeling something isn't right. They have questions. And the same people that they're asking questions, they know the answer. They don't like the fact that certain individuals are asking those types of questions. And now they have to give an answer. Come on now. Until next time, go live your best life. Stay ready so that you don't have to get ready. 1.